Good morrow, citizens of YouTube. Welcome to Payday 2. I'm going to run you through a standard bank job. So first we'll start with the questions you should ask, and I'm going to continue from here on out using this terrible accent. So, first question you always got to ask, what is the job? In this situation, it's a pro gold robbery on very hard difficulty. Basically, it means more security, but a higher payoff with a larger experience bonus. Second question, loud or quiet? Are we going in with a Sunday best or are we going in with just a vest? In this situation, we're going in with just a suit and some silenced weaponry. I carry in a louder gun just in case things go really bad really quick. Other than that, the objective is to get in, sit down the drill, make sure that nobody gets to the drill, and we have to before we do that though, we have to disable every single security man that could possibly stumble across the drilling operation. We also have to make sure that all the civilians are down, on the ground, and in hostage form before we can do anything that requires loud drilling. The objective with that being stealth. Something is very important. We get a large experience bonus on our next job if we do stealth properly, and we also get out with minimum fuss. So without further ado, let's go through the job. Right then, right now we're disabling the security guards, so we have an easier time when we drill the vault. Now, when you do it stealth, you always got to wipe out the security force first, but you can't kill all of them. You kill all of them, and you'll probably alert the security guys that are talking to them on the pages. Whenever you kill a security guard in this game, you have to, in stealth mode, you have to answer his pager. You can see there's a security guard that's right near Officer Noodles. I point him out.
Guys, the thermal
He heads
drill.
up towards
Get
10 of
it.
aces on the roof.
Let's make it happen.
Our main problem was none of us had silent drilling, and that was a big worry at the beginning of this match, but it turned out not to be a major issue.
Let's roll up.
10, he's headed your way. So that's me pointing out that the guard's heading his way. So we want to keep the area on a tight lockdown. I'm not in crim mode right now, so I'm busy scoping out if there's any guards coming through the doorways, letting my teammates know so they can wipe them out. It's always good to have one guy floating around near the beginning of a heist without his mask on. It allows him to go places the others can't. Although I have a slightly higher detection rating at this time because I'm carrying a larger rifle and a larger backup rifle. He's heading up to the roof as well.
Guys, the thermal drill.
See, that guy just walked into the spider's trap on that one. He headed up to the roof. We ended up wiping him out there. Another thing, you'll definitely, when you do a stealth mission, if you have body bags, those are always useful because you can use them to get rid of bodies so that the security cameras and other security guards that are patrolling in those areas don't pick them up. Going back to my question earlier, does anyone have silent drilling? Because they should be the one to set up the drill then.
Stick 'em up.
And as you can see, there was some silenced gunfire. He's answering the pager right now, which is one of the key elements. We end up entering through, I ended up entering through the roof, I believe. Double checking to make sure there's nothing else up there when I come down. If you can look down at the status part of the screen, which is in the bottom part of the screen, professional bank robber has wooden planks. If the situation goes bad, then he can put those on the windows to keep the cops from coming in for a short amount of time. It also protects us from gunfire and gives us a little extra cover. Always something that's very useful in a situation like this. So now I'm getting down to business, putting on my Cobra Commander mask, and I almost blow the whole mission right there. Because I wasn't paying attention to see if there were any security cameras. Alright. I wish I'd been paying better attention to that, but I wasn't. Keycard should be on the harder difficulties, there's actually a skylight, which will alert the enemy to your location. That's always a pain in the arse. So yeah, I entered in through the roof. I'm making sure there's no security up here.
Stay down. Stay still.
Oh no then. It might be on the desk in the manager's office. So now we're talking about a key card, because we need it to get into the security room without picking the lock and alerting the guard inside. Because we want to wipe out the guard inside the security room, because he's got an eye on all the cameras. After that, we're pretty much safe if we're in front of a camera, because he can't see it. Is he a security guard or a civvy? So one of the guys pointed out someone in the room. and I asked him if it was a
Alright.
security guard or a civvy, because killing a civilian should be avoided at all costs,
Target.
because killing a civilian gives you a massive payoff
I got it.
penalty.
Or you got it? Whoop,
And then
whoop,
I
whoop,
noticed
whoop,
a,
whoop,
secure,
I gotta
a
get back.
security camera almost picked me up again when I was walking in there.
Everything
can't.
is under control.
I just
Yes,
realized
sir.
I
We're
can't
good.
be in front of any cameras because
That's because my
I
detection
am
rating is high enough,
decked
and I'm
out. My
carrying
detection
a
rating's
shoulder arm.
ridiculously
If you're carrying a
high
pistol, it's a lot easier to get
compared to
past
the rest
them.
of you guys' anyway.
And if you have a
Except
lighter
I think
loadout,
Beavis is like
but I
34,
don't,
so
so
I guess.
that's because I
There's
wanted
that.
firepower in this situation. I knew we had plenty of guys who could do the stealth better than I could. So my objective is to bring
There
in
we
a little
go.
extra firepower to the situation without compromising the stealth part of the operation. I'm usually, when I do these jobs, I'm usually the guy
Yeah,
with the
there's the
drill,
one in the
but in this
security
in
room.
this situation that changes somewhat.
Yeah, the tellers are. Well, we might not even have to go
So
after
now we're
the
talking about
tellers.
whether
Does
we
anyone
want to
have
go after
silent
the
drilling?
tellers and the civilians in the main room. We're debating whether or not we should, because we don't know if they'll be able to hear the drill going off.
Dang it. This just got a whole lot harder.
Since no one, and this is when we found out no one really had silent drilling,
Get down on the ground.
but we end up pulling it off
Get down.
anyway.
Shoot the
Spoiler
tellers once he
alert.
busts
Down on the
in.
ground. Shut up and get
So now
down.
he's making
and
sure
don't
that the
get any
cubicle
ideas.
I
jockeys
guess
are
I'll do
all
that since I
put
have the
down in the ground.
submachine gun.
We don't have to worry about them then. We're gonna use it, and then
Doesn't
if
have
the
to be very-
situation goes bad,
Ooh. I'm gonna have to
then
go-
we
there's
don't
gonna
have to worry
we're
about
gonna have to
any
go
of
around a
them
different way. There's,
alerting
like,
the.
a ton of civilians
We don't
in
have to
there.
worry about them
We might
alerting
have
the
to-
police.
we might have
And if
to
the
take
situation
civilians
goes
and the
bad,
tellers at the same time.
then we can actually trade them for one of us if we end up
Yeah,
getting
but
taken
we're
down
gonna
by the
take out
cops
the camera
partway
guy.
through. Which is very useful,
I'm
especially
wondering
since
if
none of
we're
us are
far enough
currently
away
wearing
from
any
everybody
armor.
else that
Which means in a
Oh,
firefight,
carded,
we're gonna get
yeah,
our
for sure.
butts wiped off pretty quick.
That makes this a whole lot easier.
So now what we're doing is we're breaching the security room. Someone found the key card, and I wiped the
Hey.
guard out with his silent
Don't move.
MP5. I walk in
Got
real
it.
quick. I answer the pager. Now this is our
Nothing
last
really happening
pager
over here?
like thing that we can do. If we kill any other guards after this point, then it's going to be a major storm of crap. That's not something we want. So after this point, it's no killing security guards, if at all possible. If the situation escalates to that, then we have no choice.
Next time. Okay.
So basically, at this point, we
No more
can't get
killing
spotted by
guards, guys.
security at all. So we have one guy who's on the security cameras, making sure that there's no guards heading our way. And since there's no guards,
there should
we
be no
have
guards
to
that matter
just
anyway.
drill.
I'm wondering if we just take everybody down, just wipe all the civvies out.
The idea at first was just to wipe everybody out, but it turns out that no one
Or
could
should
hear the
we
drill
just
in the
try it
first
and
place.
see?
And it's a good thing we set up the drill
We
and
should
we
get a
did,
couple guys ready
because
to- No one else comes near the drill.
nobody came toward us, which is good, because we probably would have gotten detected if we had actually went in
Oh,
to
hey.
wipe them all out like that.
We might have to worry about it then.
So
Sweet.
this ended up being a good situational raid.
Well, that works. I was kind of worried.
The drill
but
takes
then again,
a wee bit of
thinking of it,
time,
there's
especially
only,
the,
like,
like on the
only people
larger
from here, so
thermal
there's people
drills.
in this room,
And
we
so
should be
I'm
good.
sticking near the drill.
got
We're all
the
sticking
medic
near the
bag
drill
over
because
here.
any
We
if
should
we
have
get any
someone
farther
watching
from the
this
drill, we might get
storage
spotted by a
area right
civilian
We need more ammo
or a
coming
security
in.
guard, or even sometimes wayward
So I guess
cops
I'll watch
outside
that.
of the
If anyone
building
walks in, I'll
can
shoot
pick us
them.
up. That's not
I'll
something
take
we
a hit
want.
to the-
So we're trying to
the,
stay close to the drill because we know nobody around
checkbook
here is
of
going to
the
detect
situation.
us. I'm watching this doorway because I'm making sure if any civilians hear the noise and get curious,
Definitely, because
that if they walk in, we'll just wipe them out real quick. We have one guy who's in the security room right now, making sure that nobody's heading our way.
That's the beauty of
He'll
this layout.
he'll
if
be
you can
sure
get
to
everyone
alert
in
us
the
if
cubicle
anything
and get all the guards
happens in any of the other areas that we have
many
camera
people
coverage.
noticing.
So right there,
Wait,
that little
wait,
question
we
mark
got-
means
we
that
got a
somebody
question
thinks
mark.
something might be up, but he's not curious enough to come in this room, which means I don't have to wax him.
Okay, they're not curious enough to head over.
They're kind of just, they're like, oh yeah, that's a right strange noise,
They
that
head
is.
into this room.
But I'm not
kill
gonna
them.
go in there. That's not. It's probably maintenance. They're probably fixing the ventilation
Down
shafts.
on the ground. Get down on the ground. On the ground.
Now that,
Uh-oh.
Get down on the ground.
what you hear right
Stay
there, they're handling the
Right.
civilians outside of the building
Come with me.
and zip tying them because they're just
Just covering them. Yeah, that's good.
they're
that's
covering they're covering the route to the
'cause right now,
van.
if we get into
'Cause
trouble, we're kind
There's
of
civilians
screwed
patrolling down the
because
streets. So what
we
we ended
don't-
up doing
none
is
of
we
us
had two
has
guys floating
armor.
around in the streets, putting people down. Not actually shooting them, but just getting them
mean,
up, getting them on the
I
ground,
brought my
tying them up,
second
getting them near the
biggest gun,
vans, that
but
just out of sight.
we should be fine. Yeah.
Because we don't want any of them alerting the cops.
got
Now
it.
the drill right here is broken, which means that some of us have to restart it. I'm one of the guys who usually ends up doing that during a heist. That's usually my designated job.
That's what that. I don't.
This at this point we're debating
Yeah, I
whether
don't
we
think
want to
any
go
of us
after the
have
safety
soft. So
deposit
do we go
boxes
after
and
the
the gold.
deposit
You can
boxes?
get a
'Cause
lot of
that's,
extra
like,
cash
the
from the
second question.
safety
I
deposit
guess after we get
boxes.
the
Lots of
vault
extra cash. You can
upstairs.
almost double your money a lot of times.
Whoop, we've got a
Come
In those
on
curious.
out,
situations.
We got a curious
But
bloke.
there's no point to
All
it
right, here
now
we go.
because we don't have a
Okay.
saw
Oh, I get it.
and
Okay,
we
you
don't have
guys are
enough
covering your
time
approach
to
to the van.
lockpick.
Got it. That's
And
good.
on this difficulty, if we get
So we're just gonna
detected,
take the gold
we're
and go
probably all
then?
gonna die. So the
I'm
idea
assuming
now
that's
is
the
just to
case.
get all the gold. And
Yeah, it'll take too long, I think, in the deposit boxes, and we're running the risk of more civilians
So,
popping out when we don't
we
want
want
them
to secure the area
This'll be
to
the
the
safer
vans. We're
option,
trying
I
not to
think.
push our luck is basically what we're trying to say in this what I'm trying to say about this. We don't want to push our luck.
Come along
We don't
now.
want anybody like busting in on us during the safety deposit box lock picking because it takes forever. I'll point it out when we open the vault and we get inside. You'll see. There's a lot of safety deposit boxes and not all of them have valuable items inside. So even if we were to pick like 5 random boxes, the chances of us getting something valuable is pretty low. So this is the vault opens here.
Yeah,
Now,
take 'em.
there's a second doorway
got
that
a
we have to
second
saw
door.
through, and I'm gonna cut this part out because it's just more of us
We got a
sitting around
second
waiting on our
freaking door.
butts. So there's about 2 minutes left on the drill.
Screaming.
Stay down, everybody.
So after
I'm surprised nobody's
actually
curious
it's
at
about
the
1 minute and 30 seconds.
of, keep drilling, you piece of shit.
That's me imitating my character.
Alright,
So now we gotta wait for this thing to
Pretty
drill all the way
close now.
through. That's gonna take
15
about 15
seconds.
seconds. Actually, a little bit quicker. You can see we're gauging about how many bags of gold we're gonna have to load up in the van. And we figured out there's about 4, so there's 4 of us. We're all
broke
just
now,
gonna
I'd be
carry
very
one to the van.
upset.
It turns out there are actually 5. When we roll in, you'll see that. You can see right there.
Oh, looks like it's
Each of
gonna
those
be
little
5
like
bags.
packets
Well, we
of
can
gold
still
is
do this
is one
easily.
bag. We can only carry a bag at a time.
Yeah, that's true.
And since there's 4 of us and the van area, the way to the van is relatively clear, I just dropped the 5th bag and I grabbed the 4th bag
There's one last
myself.
bag, so if someone wants
And
to run back for
we end
that
up
after
having
we
Noodles
get
run
all
back
this
for
in
the bag, I
van.
believe.
The rest of us can just work street security.
So it should be mentioned now that whoever's job it is, they're the leader. They choose how the job goes. It doesn't matter what rank they are.
We have another
That's
bag
just to
that's sitting in
prevent
there.
like
Okay, Noodle going after the
long-time
last
players
bag.
from coming in and
The rest of us can
arguing
just
with each other who
make
runs
sure
the show. It keeps an
here.
arbiter in check. It also helps newer players figure out how the heists work and some of the terminology that we're using. So
just got
this
robbed
job
by
is
the street sweeping social club.
the
Stay down,
10
everybody.
aces.
We more
Stay
than a
down,
band.
all of you.
We a
Stay down,
motherfucking
people.
social club.
Best not shift your
Stay
eyes
down,
in the direction.
everybody.
So then this is just us messing around. Because the situation's done, we got all the money in the van. We're all in the
Happy fun times in
extraction
the
point. And even
stealth
now,
banking.
if somebody spotted us, there's no way that we would lose our stealth bonus.
Oh my god.
So now this is the payoff screen. So you're gonna see an experience bonus, stuff like that popping up. You're not gonna get to like I don't rank up from
And
this.
that,
I'm ranked
gentlemen,
45.
was a robbery
These missions
in and
don't
of
provide a lot of
itself.
experience,
Very well done.
and so but they do provide a lot of cash. If you're looking
So
for a lot of
stealthy.
cash, these are the missions you want to
Even
do.
without silent drilling.
I'm ranked 45, which is nothing. A lot of the
Which I
players on here,
honestly
the
thought
average
we
level
wouldn't
of
be
the
able to pull it
players that I
off
play with
because
is
none
around
of us had silent
65,
drilling.
70-ish.
I was wrong.
So that's that. This is the payoff screen. You choose one of the 3 cards. It'll reveal what the other 2 cards were, which were patterns, which are basically worthless because they're for mass customization. I was lucky. I got
Yay,
a
weapon
tactical
mod.
magazine, but I still have to buy it if I want it on any of my guns. There's only one gun that I have that'll use it, I think. So that was a heist. I hope you enjoyed that. Like and subscribe. This is Wheelin' with Scooter. The gaming scooter, in fact, I think is what I'm gonna start calling this segment. Um, if you like this game, it's really cheap on Steam. Um, as of today, I think it's on sale. I have all the DLC. I got like every single DLC for it, which is fine. You don't have to though. That's the cool part about this game. Even if everybody else on your team has DLC, you don't actually have to have the DLC in order to play with them. However, I like the DLC because it has lots of guns and I'm a gun nut. So, that was a heist. Um, like, subscribe, comment below. Uh, otherwise, this is Scooter Dawn. Peace out, internet.